another edition of Focus on Hopkins County. I'm your host, Tim Thomas. We're glad that you've joined us for this edition of our program. We're glad to have with us in the studio this evening members of the Hopkins County Family YMCA. They're going to be talking about a very important program that is just now coming into fruition. And we're glad to have with us Darlene Sheyer, who is the finance director of the YMCA. Glad to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you. And also Tori, Wallace, who is the outreach coordinator for the YMCA. Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
We're glad to have you. And this is a very interesting program, and one that is, I think, very important to our listening audience. So we want to kind of jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about what the program is.
Okay, our program, which is Hopkins County Anti-Hunger Coalition, started in March of last year. Mm-hmm. We actually found a need. The YMCA just recognized that there is a need in Hopkins County for this type of program. So we actually got together with a lot of different community leaders and said, let's do this. Let's look at this. Let's see ways that we can feed these children throughout Hopkins County and improve our program. Mm-hmm.
I know you received a grant from Walmart.
We did. Mm-hmm. We applied and received a grant from Walmart Foundation through the YMCA of the USA to further develop our food program.
Well, that really kind of helps spirit it.
That helps a lot. That helps so much to be able to have that extra funding that we so need to do this.
Absolutely. Tori, tell us a little bit of what is the purpose of this and where do you see it going?
So the Hopkins County Anti-Hunger Coalition, we are committed to eliminating childhood hunger throughout Hopkins County. Mm-hmm. And according to the Kentucky Department of Education, 66% of our county qualifies for free or reduced lunch cost.
Wow.
So this proves that there is a need for programming like this while school is not in session. And our coalition hopes to improve a child's access to summer and after-school meals.
Mm-hmm. What made you decide that this area was important? I know by the numbers, but what else did you see in it for our community?
I think that increasing the access and bringing awareness to the summer and after-school food programs will reduce the number of food insecure children in Hopkins County. Mm-hmm. So during the summer and providing snacks or meals after school or during holidays and school breaks, that'll really help those children out who don't have those resources during that time.
And how many children do you basically see, Darlene?
We, in the summertime, we serve over 2,000 children.
Wow.
They're unduplicated. Mm-hmm. We looked at that and we look at these kids, and there are kids. They're in our community. Mm-hmm. So there are children. And we just feel like it's a responsibility that we need to take on and try to reduce this, try to help these families out.
Right. And we're seeing this, as you say, all across the nation. We're seeing that kids are in need of a program, our programs such as this.
Right.
We're seeing this across the nation, and our community is not exempt from that. And we must commend the YMCA for this because it is beneficial, and the reason why we wanted to focus in, if you will, on this program is because we want to bring awareness to the community. And not only that, but to get people more involved.
Right.
And how can they become more involved in this?
Well, one way they can become more involved is to give us a call at the YMCA. Mm-hmm. We are always looking at areas where we can start new sites, new meal sites where the kids can come 18 and under and receive a meal at no cost. Volunteers that want to help at these sites, just like we're doing here, getting the word out. That's the main thing, is to get the word out, to let the people know that we have these programs.
Mm-hmm. How many areas in the summer do you have for feeding?
So last summer we had 55 sites across Hopkins County.
Really?
10 of those sites were with the Hopkins County schools, and then the Y had 45. So we really outstretched across the county last year and did our part, but we're really looking to improve that this summer, and I think that's the most we've had.
We go from Hanson to Madisonville, out to Arlington, Morton's Gap, White Plains,
St.
Charles, and we had three or four sites in Dawson Springs.
Wow, yeah. So it is very successful, but there's a need to build on that, right?
It is. We, Madisonville, or the YMCA, actually is kind of a leader in what we call our mobile routes in the state of Kentucky. A lot of people in Kentucky call us to say, okay, how are you doing this? Because our mobile routes will take, we put the food and the meals in the van, we take them to these more remote areas for the children. We are going to start doing this summer kind of like teachers do. We're going to do lesson plans. We're going to try to get in there so we can help the learning loss during the summertime. And hopefully we can come up with some really cool, fun ideas where the kids don't realize that they're really learning, but yet they're having fun and they're learning at the same time.
You have partners that participate in this as well?
We do. In our coalition, we have several community partners. We have representatives from Big Brothers Big Sisters, Hopkins County Health Department, Hopkins County Extension Office, the Public Library, the Madisonville Community College, Baptist Health, Hopkins County School and Resource Centers, local churches, Hopkins County Fiscal Court, and Hopkins County Family YMCA.
So we're always looking to expand our coalition group, and for information about that, you can call us at the Y and talk to Darlene or I, and we're always looking for more community partners. So.
Right. Personally, with you, Darlene, I'll start with you. How important do you see this program, personally?
I started this probably 8 years ago.
Wow.
When the person that was in charge of it had to resign. So I kind of took it over, and
Kind of your baby back, basically.
Yeah, honestly, it was just a job. And then I started going out there, and I saw those kids, and I heard the stories, and there's such a need in Hopkins County. And so I'm passionate about it now. It's just something that every year I try to increase the meal sites. I try to get the kids there. I try to find ways to get those kids to come so they can have a nutritious meal, 1 or 2 a day, because I see how important it really is. Going hands-on, one-on-one with these kids and actually talking to them. They all have stories. There's all these stories out in Hopkins County, and listening to them, it makes you realize there is such a need for that.
Yes, it is. Tori, what are your personal thoughts on it?
So I first started working with this program when I was young. My dad, of course, is the CEO of the YMCA. So when I say working, it was free labor.
That's where the Wallace comes in, huh?
Yes. So it was free labor, give or take. I just was downstairs. That's when we did cold lunch sacks, and I helped Charles Gant and Tonette bag lunches down there. And I didn't know at that time, I was young, didn't really know, the impact on the community or where the food was going.
Yes.
At that time, we had a lot less sites, but, I was just bagging the lunches. So when I got older and I actually supervised a site at the Elk Creek Trailer Park, that's when I saw that the need in our community for programming like this, and that's when it, really hits home with you that, if you're not exposed to that type of food insecurity every day or, having those problems, you're not really aware that it is here in our county. So
That's true, and that's why it is so important to reach out into the community and let people know, because you'd be surprised how many people do not even realize this program is available.
And it does, it impacts Tori and I, but it impacts the people that work for us every summer.
Yes.
Each year, we have more and more people come back to us saying, can I have that job again? Because we know how important it is. So, it does impact a lot of people.
That's right. And when you talk about the YMCA itself, really with the foundation of a Christian-based foundation, it is about a ministry. It is about serving. The YMCA itself, tell us a little bit about some of the other programs that take part in the YMCA.
Well, let's see. We have a list. We have our child care, which is, we have preschool. We have 2 preschool classes in the mornings. And then we have, after school, we have 2 classes at the Y. We have an off-site at Hanson and an off-site at West Broadway. And the last I heard, there were over 180 children enrolled in our programs at the kids center.
Wow.
Then we have our aquatics. We have a swim team. We have swim lessons, private swim lessons. We have sports. Whitney is our director, and she has every sport imaginable, things that I've never even heard of. But we have soccer, we have t-ball, baseball, foosball. Is that what it's called? Food?
Something with a ball.
Something. It's like indoor soccer is what it is. Flag football. So she's very, very busy with that also. And then, of course, we have our wellness. We have our equipment upstairs. We have all kinds of classes. We have Zumba classes, toning classes, aerobic classes, active older adult classes. And we also have our YMCA Express out at the mall that a member can go out at any time and work out there also.
Sure, wow.
So we keep busy.
Yeah, okay. And site development, what is that about? What?
So that's one of our subcommittees, and I'm the head of that subcommittee.
Okay.
So our site development subcommittee, we work on, mapping out those sites that we talked about, finding the greatest need in the community where people don't have transportation to our meal sites at, certain places or organizations. So that's kind of like our mobile routes. We go to them. We find where the need is in our community with great food insecurity, and work on developing food sites in those areas.
And again, you talk about over 2,000 children you serve here in Hopkins County. What are the age groups again?
Anyone from 18 and younger, they can participate in the program. And it's an open site, so anyone that wants to come by to any of the sites, they're welcome, they can participate.
Right, so volunteers are needed to help in feeding, help just to be a part of the program as well.
If churches want to open their doors for us and they want to serve the kids in some of these areas, that would be wonderful. Because not only do we do our summer food program, we also, during the school year, we have programs where the kids can go after school and get a meal.
Oh, great.
And we have about 11 sites.
So we currently have 11 after-school programs, and Darlene has already mentioned 3 of them. So one's at the Y Kids Center, we have the Hanson and the West Broadway after-school sites. Those are Y-sponsored sites. And then we also have Grace Warehouse is an after-school program. They serve Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then they also started serving on Sunday mornings for the kids that come in for Sunday church. Then we have the Madisonville Housing or Family Investment Center. They have been a partner of ours for a while now, and they have an after-school program there. We recently added Damascus Roadhouse, and so they're more on the south side of the county. Then we have Big Brothers Big Sisters. They have partnered with us to feed their children in their after-school program.
One thing I want to ask and talk about and get your opinion on, when you search out for kids and reach out to them, how do you go about doing that?
We have been known to get in a van and drive neighborhoods and look for toys, see where there is a place that the kids, that need this program. And then from that point, we find a place that we can house these sites. And sometimes you have to feed all the kids to get the kids that really need the program. And that's what this program's about.
We also lately have found this resource called a capacity builder, and it shows you, it maps out, well, you can look it up for any place in the U.S., but it'll map out, say, Hopkins County and show you where summer sites are and the number of free introduced children in that area. So we're going to really focus on that this year and look where our sites are currently, and then look where the greatest need is with that, using that capacity builder and making sure we're getting the participation of all those children in that area.
And a lot of places you go, there are times that they want you to actually use their yard or whatever to...
We've had a couple places call us and say, we've heard about your program and we've gone out there and there isn't a church close by or there isn't a park, and we talked to the people and they opened their front yard. We had one instance where we said, okay, can we try this? We'll put a picnic table in your front yard with a sign. By the end of the summer, we had 2 picnic tables, we had a little tent that the kids decorated, we had a sign. The parents loved it, the kids loved it, it was right there in their neighborhood. So we can do that also.
Let's talk a little bit about the issue of pride. And, you know, a lot of times kids feel, and even parents, have this inferiority type complex thing. How do you deal with that type of situation?
What we do is we offer this program. It's a fun program for the kid. It's a place for them to come and just have a good time in the summer. Sometimes these kids are in their house all day playing video games, watching TV. We offer these programs to the kids. We don't put on there, oh, come here, it's free, it's free. It's a fun place, and while they're there, they get to eat. And whether this child needs it or that child doesn't, it's a great place for them to come. It's a great role model. We hire some very fun people in the summer. They're very creative, much more than I am. And you know, we tease one of them. She can take a rock and make a game out of it. So you know, just keeping those kids entertained and interactive, and that's what we do.
Yeah. You talked about 2 other subcommittees. Tell us a little bit about that.
Okay, we have, along with the Tori subcommittee, we have our community awareness subcommittee. And our community awareness is basically, we just get out to the public. We get out, we go talk to churches, we talk to civic clubs, we go to community events just to get the word out, let people know that we have this program. We are currently working on an informational brochure that we are going to take to like the unemployment office, WIC office, to let the people know that we have all this, that they can take advantage of this. And with that, we are going to list all of our sites that we have. So we have that. And then the last one we have is a community awareness. And Michelle Hale, she has worked with me on the food program for 4 or 5 years. She's done everything from being a site director to driving one of our mobile routes. She's now in charge of kind of overseeing the program day-to-day stuff, and Tori takes care of all the paperwork. But she is in charge of our community involvement, and the community involvement is just getting out there in the community, doing some community events where we can get the kids to come to have a good time. They're currently working on our Healthy Kids Day, which is going to be Saturday, April the 30th. It's going to be at the YMCA. And it's just going to be a fun day for the kids. We're going to have food tasting, eye dance game. We may have the bouncing bees. We haven't decided on that yet. We might have a fun 1-mile walk for the family. And during that time, the kids are going to learn how to stay active in the summer and also to reduce their learning loss during the summer. They're kind of working on right now, the next thing they'll be working on is a community back to school bash, which we have done in the past. A lot of churches and other organizations do these in Hopkins County. So we're going to contact them and say, hey, why don't we get together? Why don't we do this? Have it one day, have the parents come one day and get all the supplies these kids need.
Sure.
So we're looking at doing that the end of July or the first part of August.
Right. But Saturday, April the 30th.
Saturday, April the 30th at the YMCA.
At the YMCA. And this is going to be, again, tell us a little bit about it. What is it going to be?
Okay, it's called our Healthy Kids Day. And it will be at the Y. The kids are going to come. We will set up different stations. We're going to do a food tasting. We might do an adult cooking class. We have this eye dance game, and it's kind of like Dance Revolution, where you watch it on the screen and you move around on these mats. So we'll have that activity for the kids. We're going to try to do some exercise classes for the kids, and just a fun day that we'll have for the kids. And it's all free and it's open to the public. We will be sending flyers out to the kids at school. We'll put it on our website and our other social media that we have out there.
Great, great. A great program, much needed, and one we hope that we can continue to grow here in the community of Hopkins County. We're glad that you've been on Focus on Hopkins County, and we hope that this program has benefited the program, and I feel like it has.
I hope so, and I think it will, and I appreciate you having us here.
We're glad to
Thank
have
you.
you. Glad to have you, and we wish you much success.
Thank you.
We've been talking with two of the elite group members of the YMCA, Darlene Sheyer, who is the finance director for YMCA of Hopkins County Family, and also the Miss Tori Wallace, who is the outreach coordinator. They've been sharing this very important program that is taking place, and we hope that you will take advantage of the numbers to call, which is on the screen, as well as some of the sites that you see. Take availability of that as well, and you may know some children or kids, even if you don't have any, you may know kids that need to be involved in the program. We encourage you to make that happen. You've been watching Focus on Hopkins County. I'm your host, Tim Thomas. By all means, keep sharing the dream.